we're really excited to come down there, and we, absolutely can't wait. And make sure to put in the comments what you want to hear.
Thank you so much for joining me today, Brittany. It's got to be exciting. The album's been out for a week now. How's it kind of feel to finally have that kind of out to the world? I know the build up to it's kind of been a while, but now it's finally out there. People can finally listen to it. How are you feeling about it all?
Great. Yeah, it is really nice to have it out there finally because we've had it for almost a year now. And it's just kind of been like, and we've been writing it since 2021. And the idea of it was in my head even before that. So it's just, yeah, it's been a long haul. I'm excited for it finally, yeah, to be out there and for everyone to get to listen to what we've had in our hands for so long.
And it's crazy that you mentioned you've been writing it like 2021, thought about it even prior to that. We've kind of like AI and everything becoming such a big thing in the last 18 months, I want to say. It's kind of really taken the
Mhm.
world by storm. I think everyone knows what a chat GBT is or
Yeah.
the art and everything. So it's kind of like you're almost predicting the future in that way. How did it feel after kind of writing the album and you being sitting on it and then seeing all this stuff happen in the world? Was it kind of like, huh, I predicted it, or it's kind of like, oh wow, what I was kind of writing about is coming true. This is kind of scary.
Well, I mean, it's just it's always kind of been the future.
Mm,
We've been watching movies about it for years,
yeah.
since the 80s, probably earlier than that. I mean, when did Metropolis come out, right? So
Yeah.
it's always been our thoughts of the
Yeah.
future. Like you ask anyone what makes a place futuristic, it would be like, yeah, robots walking around doing mundane tasks. So it was just kind of, it was me writing a story that's been told a million times and putting my own little spin on it. So,
Yeah.
and honestly, like I didn't expect it to come out at a time when AI would be such like a controversial, like crazy hotbed of madness. I actually probably would have preferred if it hadn't been like that,
Yeah.
but it is what it is.
Look, it's one of those things that kind of it's good in a way because it kind of shines a light on people. Like you said, it's been around forever. Like the Terminator was early 80s, and that's the big scary, oh no, AI is going to kind of kill us all type of thing. So
Oh
it's
yeah,
definitely
yeah,
definitely nothing new. But speaking about that, do you take many inspiration from films when it comes to writing your stories?
absolutely. I mean, that's, a lot of it
Yeah.
is from films and video games and comic books and books and just kind of, uh, like pop culture in general. So, Apex and Abyss, the albums before this, they were inspired by
Mm.
like Willow and the East. Oh my God, I can't even think of the name of it right now. A few comic books that I've loved reading for a long time, and this is no different. Exactly, it's all movies and comic books and video games. Really, I don't have any original ideas. What do you think I
Yeah.
am?
I totally get it. I'm the exact same when I write. I can't write about personal stories, but writing about sci-fi stuff or old things in the past, I don't know. It's just that extra little bit of fun to kind of delve
Yeah,
into your own
way
fandom.
way more fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
I live I live daily life all day long. I don't need the mundane kind of stuff. Let me take me away from here. It's as far as away as we can possibly go.
Yeah, and it shows, and it's great, and it shows in the artwork as well. I've got to say, I love the artwork on every album you guys do. Do you have so I should have checked this beforehand, but do you have the same artist for each album, or have you kind of changed it up each time?
No, it's been someone different actually for the last three records, and we worked with the same guy for the first three, and
Hmm.
then things happened, and you can look his name up, Google him if you like, and then so we got someone new for Apex, and he was awesome, and we loved what he did, and he totally like took our concept and just knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
And then he, when we went back to him for the second record, he's like, "Oh, I don't do album covers anymore." He's like, "I got a day job that I really love, and it just takes all my time." And we were like, "Damn it!" So then we found someone else, and he was great. He did the Abyss cover, and we were like, "Yes, that's super awesome." But in between there, we had Dusty Peterson do our EP cover,
Mm.
and so after Abyss, I was like, I really would like to go back to Dusty and see what he can come up with for this. I just feel like it could be a good Dusty cover. And so we went to Dusty and we were just like, hey, remember us? You did an EP for us a while ago. Um, do you think you would be into doing this? And he was like, absolutely. He's like, I don't know why you came to me for this record. That is not my style at all. He's like, but I'm here for it. So we were like, oh, okay, sweet, cool. And yeah, he just totally killed it. He did a great job. We gave him like an exact moment that we were looking to depict, which is like, the green and glass
Glass.
moment from the song. So, and he was just like, yeah, I think, I got this. So it was great.
How important is the album art to you? And it's a big thing, I think, in a lot of power metals who would agree that the album art kind of needs to be like, because a lot of it is concept, and all your albums are concept albums, well,
Yeah.
at least the last three. But going through it, you kind of need the picture in someone's head. So when they listen to it, it just kind of paints the world a bit easier for. It's like a good book cover.
Absolutely. No, it's extremely important. Even digitally,
Mm,
I'm on Spotify and I'm like, "Whoa, that's a cool album cover." Like, play that band, or it tells me about the band.
yeah.
I'll be like, "This must be black metal," you know what I mean? Or this must be symphonic metal, or you can kind of tell just from looking at it. And so yeah, it's always been super important to us that it grabs you and that it tells its own story and
Mm,
that you makes you want to like, "Whoa, that's really neat. Like, what's going on there? I need to open up a high-res version of this on my desktop." That's really kind of what we're going for. We want it to grab you digitally because, we're that's what a lot of people listen to music on nowadays. But we also want it to be something when you hold it in your hands, you're kind of going, "Ooh, look at, ooh, what's that? What's that? What's that?" Like you're just
yeah.
kind of seeing all the details. So, gotta play to both strengths there.
And with vinyl records becoming a big thing over the last years as well, having that album cover and on display, because a lot of people are not just buying it for the music, it's memorabilia. It's like a collectible at this point as well. So the cooler it looks, the
Absolutely.
better. And I always love
Yeah.
that about you guys with your artwork as well. But getting back to the album and writing on it, you've released banger after banger of the singles. And when the whole album came out, I went, I really like this song. Why wasn't that a single like Gods of Decay? But then I was like, but which single would I swap it out with? That must have been a real pain to kind of go, okay, which ones are we doing videos for and which ones do we just kind of have to go, oh, well, they'll be on the album. You listen to them when they come out.
No, exactly. Yeah, it was. It was incredibly difficult. When we first heard Seeking Vengeance, we were all like, "Oh yeah, that's a single."
Hmm.
Um, well, actually, I wasn't really. I was kind of like, "Really? I don't know." But the boys were like, "No, no, the chorus is great. That's a single." And so I was like, "Okay, yeah, cool, let's do it." And we recorded or filmed a music video for it right there when we were in the studio. And then, but then other songs, as we got the masters back and everything, we were kind of like, "Ooh, maybe this song is better." And then once I kind of had everything back, I realized that the lyrics of Seeking Vengeance maybe were giving too much away.
Hmm.
So I was like, let's push that one back a little bit, closer to when the actual album comes out and it doesn't matter anymore. And let's try and find a different first single. And yeah, it was a struggle for sure. We were like, okay, Green and Glass doesn't give away anything from the story really too much.
No.
It kind of is like hints at it. And then also it's kind of new. We haven't really done anything like that before. And then, but it's also still got a bit of that Apex Abyss vibe to it. So, that's kind of why we went with that one. But yeah, I fought for Gods in Decay big time.
Yeah,
But
good.
but I also really love the collective, and
Hmm.
yeah, it was just difficult. It was so tough, and it always is, and because they're all you love them all, right? At the end of it, so it's difficult.
And you're spot on. I didn't even think about it because I guess Green and Glass was it was almost like you've picked up a DVD and you've just kind of read the back to get a bit of an idea of the story, but you have no idea about the plot twist. You don't really know about the characters. You're like, hey, here's his character and here's how his journey starts. And that's really what that song felt like. And the video as well really did paint the world, which I really appreciated. It was something I know there was a little bit of controversy about the whole, AI thing, but it works for a band like you. It's like Scar Symmetry do it too. They use all these things, but you're at the end of the day, you've got roots in sci-fi. It just kind of feels like, you're showing it. Like this album does talk about the darkness of, this kind of thing. So, kind of, I don't know. Maybe people didn't see the bigger picture at the time.
Right. No, and it's not necessarily that it's just that it's AI in general gets
Mm,
people riled up. It doesn't matter what you're doing with it. The second you mention the word, you're kind of you've ticked flipped a switch for someone. So, we get it. It is what
yeah.
it is. You can't win them all, and you can't change people's opinions, and we're not going to try, and we're also not going to engage because it's just like whatever.
Yeah.
People are always going to find something to get angry about. Like always, there's going to be something that people are upset about. So yeah, it's just, it was just a creative choice. We were writing an album about AI, so we thought
Yeah.
it was cool to use it. And, we we compensated the artist whose artwork, catalog we used
Mm.
to train the model. So, um, the things that get people up in arms are just things that we can't fix.
And
So,
look, you should never try to. Think about back in the 60s, they used to march on the streets in America because men had long hair. Like someone's always going to be upset about something. In 5 years' time, people are going to look back at that and go, "Oh, that was weird. That was a controversy. It's not even going to be a thing in the future." So
yeah,
you take
hope
it out
so.
as a bit of a stamp in history. But getting back to the Australian tour, I am absolutely stoked you guys are coming down because I was actually at Wacken last year and I saw you guys got announced. I'm like, damn it, I missed out because bands coming to Australia, it's not the easiest thing in the world. It's a bit of a long flight, and if you haven't done it
Yep.
before, I'm sure you're looking forward to that. But
Yep.
what are you excited for in this Australian and New Zealand tour? I know you don't have a lot of break days, but I see there's a little bit of a gap in there.
Yeah, we added Perth in there to where we were supposed to have
Oh
a day
yeah,
off in Australia, and then the next day was going to be a day off in New Zealand, and then we played shows again. It was we were we had a lot of people that were like, no, Perth, and so we were like, put it in there. Well, we actually went to Hardline and we were like, is this going to be like logistically possible? And they were like, well, you guys are going to be exhausted, but we can make it happen. So we were just like, okay, let's do it. And so yeah, not much time off, but that's okay. We don't tour to have, I mean, we do tour to see the sights and get to do the fun things,
yeah.
but it's also about coming down and hanging out with you guys. So that's what we're there to do, and that's what we're excited about. And we just want to meet all of our Australian fans that have been waiting, and New Zealand fans that have been waiting for us for so long. So we're just excited to come play for everybody and have a party.
Yeah, it's kind of thrilling that you're doing it. And mentioning Perth, it's funny, you see on some bands, every post in the comments has come to Brazil. If there's an
Yeah,
Australian tour announced, it's always come to Perth. I do feel
come to
bad for
Perth.
them, but it's always guaranteed. As soon as a tour gets announced, all the comments are going to be come to Perth. But they got their wish, and I'm glad they did because this is an opportunity that's rare, breaking into the market for the first time, and it's going great. Tickets are selling really well. I know you've sold out, I think, on all the VIP tickets as well.
Yeah.
I remember freaking out during pre-sale, getting the ticket for my wife and I, and my friend were like, "Oh no, the pre-sale sold out. We've got to wait for general public." So waiting to get in, it was exciting. It's cool to see a band that's never been here before, and it's like, let's not sugarcoat it. You're not a big pop band. It's not Taylor Swift. It's not anything like
No.
that. So you never know how a band like yours from Canada is going to do down here. But it's just kind of done tremendous. Like I know so many people that are so excited to see you guys. So was the
That's
reaction a
great.
little bit overwhelming to all that as well?
No, I mean we're just so excited. It's like we've been trying to get down there since since Apex came out. We were
Yeah,
just like,
wow.
Australia, we gotta get down there. Let's go. And then we had it booked in 2020, but it just wasn't announced. And
Yeah.
so, um, and then of course we all know what happened there. And then we've been trying to just get it, happening again since then. So we're just like so excited for it to finally happen. Honestly, we could play to 20 people and we'd
Yeah.
be totally fine with that. Like we're here, all you 20 people that have been waiting for us, we're here. That's it. That's all that matters. And we get it. We've done the grind, dude.
Yeah.
We played the first time we ever played Portland, which is like not even 8 hours away from us. We played to two people,
Wow.
and the other bands that were on the bill, and but we didn't give up. We were like, okay, the next time we come, those two people will hopefully bring friends. And you just keep going, you keep doing the grind. So we're not expecting it to be, sold out shows every night.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure the booking agent would really like it to be that. And we're gonna do our darndest, to push tickets up until the very end. But we're just here to have a good time, and it's difficult to get down there. So we're just gonna enjoy it while we can.
Yeah. And what a story those two people that saw you at that show would have had. It almost would have felt like a private concert to them. It kind of reminded me when you're saying, oh, playing to two people, why Lemmy always sung with his head up because it didn't matter if he was singing to a crowd of 1,000 or a guy and his dog. He just wasn't looking at him. So it's funny. Speaking of Australia as well, and I know you don't need to tell me, but I'm curious because you've never come down here, but you've got the new album out as well. Have you guys worked out a set list?
No.
No.
Got any ideas?
I do have one request.
Okay, let's hear it.
My wife and I, we've got the carpool karaoke song. It's our favorite song, Carry the Flame. If you can just include that on the
Oh,
set
okay.
list, I would absolutely
Okay.
love that.
Okay, good to know. Good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been working on it and we're kind of like, oh, like what do we do? How much of the old stuff do we play? How long have these people been waiting for us, you know? Do we have Behold era fans out there? Like what do we do? So it's been tough for
Yeah.
sure. But luckily, yeah, luckily it is the headline set, so we
Mm.
can do like I think it's something like 75 minutes to 90 minutes depending on the venue.
Yeah.
So we're gonna pack it in there. Sorry, not might not be able to talk too much. I'll just be like, "Hey everyone, how's it going? Sweet. Okay, next song, bye." You know, like because we're just gonna try and pack them in there. But yeah, I mean, if anyone wants to comment on this video or you know the posts when we post this, please tell us what you want to hear because we are struggling for sure with how much old and how much new and yeah.
I think if my brother was here, he'd have to say "Awakening." I know, but that was the song that got him in Unleash the Archers as well. So I know he's probably watching this go. If Jai doesn't mention "Awakening," I'm going to flog him. So I better mention it. But that's brilliant. Do you know?
Nice.
Are you going to play some of the? Oh, well, of course you're going to play some of the new stuff. Do you have a number of songs you want to try and play from the new album?
Yeah, I mean we're kind of thinking like definitely got to do at least some of the singles,
Mm,
if not all of them. We're not too sure yet. But then, you know, yeah, that's right there. That's like 20 minutes. It's
yeah.
like, well, how much of the, you know, of the new stuff do you play? So, yeah, we kind of have like a what's it called? A long list, and then we're gonna kind of cut it down to the short list, see who makes the short list, and see you know how much we can squeeze in there of like, okay, these are like must plays,
Yeah.
and and then see what we can pick out of them because yeah, it's and you know it's really funny because we were talking about like cool a new album, but then it's like every time you add more music, you it makes it harder to figure out what to play.
Mm,
So I'm like, Metallica playing for 3 hours? Oh no, I get it.
yeah.
I absolutely get it for sure.
No, and you guys don't exactly write the shortest songs either. So
No.
that's always hard because you got one song like, Give It Up or Give It All off the new album. That's nearly 8 minutes, I think, at the
Mhm.
same time. So it's kind of hard to justify putting that in over something else.
But even like even just like our standard song time is like f over 5 minutes. Like
Yeah.
we just can't. And like even the quick bangers are like, you know, just under 5 minutes. And it's like, is that really a quick banger, you guys? I don't know. But yeah, it's tough.
Well, compared to Dream Theater, I think it's a quick banger. So we're
Yeah,
comparing it
okay,
to that.
good.
Yeah. Speaking of the song length, is that something purposely you guys have done, or is it just because your writing style is to kind of tell the story through the song and you just kind of need that time to get it done? Like, how's
No,
the
it's
writing process?
honestly it's always just feel. Like it's
Mm,
kind of like what do we need to do here? What should come next? Is this like a verse chorus bridge chorus outro kind of a song, or is this like a let's start it off with a guitar solo, see how long that
mm,
goes, you know? And it's kind of just it it always comes down to the riff at the end of the day and what feels like needs to come next.
yeah.
And a lot of times, yeah, Andy will send like a song that is that kind of basic structure. And sometimes we'll kind of be like, oh, you know, I feel like something's missing, or like, yeah, I think we should do that chorus a couple more times, or, you know, just kind of feeling it out, writing it together, looking at it and feeling like, did that end too quickly? Or, you know, could it use something else? Or is this riff totally expendable? Like, why is this
Mm,
even here? You know, so it really just comes down to kind of letting the music dictate
yeah.
the, you know, where it goes.
And I think that's the best way of doing it too, because if you get too kind of like chop and change of no, it needs to be this long or it needs to be that long, it's either you're going to sacrifice some quality because you haven't really fleshed the whole song out, or it's going to sound too mechanical because you purposely tried to flesh a song out and it kind of loses its soul at the same time. So, uh,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, the balance of
absolutely.
that's absolutely incredible. But coming down to it, it's a big year for you guys, touring Australia, and this is your first time playing Wacken as well, I believe, isn't it?
It is.
Are you
Yes.
excited for that?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, that's another thing that was supposed to happen in 2020 and did not.
Mm.
And then was supposed to happen in 2021 and did not. So yeah, no, just so excited to finally get there. And Again, we could play it at 5 people because freaking Maiden's on the main stage or something, and that'd be fine. We're just happy to be there.
Well, as long as it doesn't rain like last year, I think you guys will be fine. That was a struggle
Yeah.
to try and get in there, but it's a
Yes.
magical experience. I'm glad you guys get to experience that as well. But you did mention something earlier, and I've been sticking on it because I want to ask. You said you get a lot of inspiration from movies and video games. What are some of your favorites? Because I'm just curious, because that's kind of my whole life is music, video games, movies.
Some of my favorite movies and video games,
Yeah.
or just yeah.
Oh, either,
Um,
either.
I mean, it's constantly changing. I think like for all time kind of a thing, my favorite movie is probably Willow, but
Yep.
that's like a very emotional kind of attachment that I have to that. But it still stands the test of time though. You can
Mm.
watch it. You can watch it. Go back and watch it. It's actually still really good, and like the effects aren't too bad. There's some where you're kind of like, ugh, but it's not, yeah, it's not too bad. But I mean, other than that, I thought Interstellar was like
Mm.
just amazing. Loved that movie. Um, yeah, and the soundtrack to that one was really cool. Um, what else? Fifth Element,
Yeah. Yeah.
absolutely like one of the greatest films of all time. I could watch that one over and over and over and over. Princess Bride, but again, that's like a nostalgia thing. What else is great? I'm trying to think of like recent films that have really kind of
Yeah,
um,
I'm trying to
got
do it
me
at the same time. I
excited.
was trying to think, well, besides Interstellar, I guess that's kind of recent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh, actually, that was 10 years ago. It's like, holy shit.
Yeah.
No, um, like Aliens, it's really great. I liked the new Prometheus films as well. And
Mm.
um, The Creator, I'm not sure if you watched that. I thought that was really good, really well done. Um, yeah. For video games, I mean, Dead Space, it's one
Mm.
of my favorites of all time. BioShock,
Yep.
BioShock 1 and 2. Um, the last Doom, I can't remember what they call it,
Doom
Doom
Eternal?
Eternal.
Yeah, Eternal. Yeah. Yeah. What
That
a
was
bullet hell game that
fantastic.
was.
Right? Just
Yeah.
loved it. I'm like, I need me some of that right now, I
Yeah.
think. Just mindless shoot, fast, go, great
Yeah.
metal in the background. Let's do it. Um, Witcher 3, of
Oh,
course.
of course.
Um, Zelda, the Breath of the Wild. I'm still in the middle of Tears of the Kingdom. It's so disappointing. I haven't had any time to play it. I'm really hoping that all this touring is going to give me time to sit on my Switch and do something, but I think I'm hoping for, for
Well,
a
well,
dream
that
there.
that, that flight to Australia, it's long. I'm sure you'll have some time.
But I'm sure I have like interviews that I have to do and all this sort of stuff that's going to be filling my time. But hopefully I'll get some gaming in there. I think yeah, those are probably the big ones for video games.
No,
Yeah.
beautiful. Well, fingers crossed you do get a little bit of time in there because you've got to kind of relax sometimes. I know
Yeah.
it's stressful going around like that, but I won't keep you too much longer. I know you've got another interview coming up shortly, but is there anything you
Yeah.
wanted to say to the Aussie fans before I let you go today?
Just can't wait to see you. It's going to be great. We're going to have a party, and I mean that. Like, we're going to have to be very on our best behavior because we have to fly like every morning. So, our favorite thing to do is like hang out afterwards and party with our fans. So, let's hope we don't do that too much. And no, you guys don't be bad influences on us. But we're really excited to come down there, and we, absolutely can't wait.
Uh,
And make sure to put in the comments what you want to hear.
yes, please do because and I'm going to put in carry the flame as well on my own comment just so you remember because fingers crossed,
That's
fingers
in
crossed.
there. It's in there.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Awesome, Brittany. It has been an absolute pleasure. Cannot wait to see you guys in June. You have a wonderful day. I wish you all the best and safe travels.
Thanks so much. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. See you later.
Okay. Bye.